Hello? Yo! Man, I'm here. I'm here. Anyways, how come I can't? I hate doing it this way, man. Live chat. There we go. How is everybody? Hey, what's up, Matthew? Hey, Casey. Anyways, man. So, I've been out of the loop for Roswell, baby. Thank you for being a member for 7 months, baby. So, man, I'm just getting through interpreting all the cliff notes, listening to some clips here and there about what's going on with the MGTOW stuff, right? And I feel like I have to speak about it. Chica, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Who is this? Zena. Oh shit. Zena, thank you for being a member for 7 months, baby. Yeah, I've been working on this old house. I'll give you a little rundown tomorrow about what I've been doing. Porch, siding. Today I was on a roof in the early part. During the rest of the day, I was tuck pointing brick. I've been going at it. So, the MGTOW stuff, right? I want to start kind of chronologically. We ain't gonna be here for a long time. We here for a good time. You hear me? I was unaware of really how much, it's not even MGTOW, let me correct myself, right? Semen for Teeth and Kush Doubtfire, right? The two of these people have been like sitting on panels for like months talking about me. I didn't even know. I don't care, but even if I did know, it's not as if I would give degenerates like that a response to any back and forth, right? So we're gonna start out here. Blame Katie made a comment that she didn't like the way Ernie let me up on his channel, and that I have seen today a lot of comments like, Benny Keys messed it up. Let me tell you what, had I not went over there and put that link in that back chat that was sent to me, that is what hinged all of this. If I had not put that link there, now Ernie didn't play the link until 3 hours later, and he just showed it in the camera, as I'm told, right? So if I wouldn't have came over, see, he didn't play it right when I was there. He let me I just summarized what the clip was about. That information was then taken, and that information is what ran Bullets away, right? So there was people, I understand, I don't have to like the flight plan. I just gotta love the destination. You feel me? That's where it's at, right? I love the destination. But let me explain the flight path to you. The flight path was a little bit strange because there were, and I understand that, Ernie is a showman, right? To keep the drama going and to keep the content flowing so that it spills into today and we can continue talking about it, he had to do it. I respect the way, I don't have to like it, but I respect the way he did it, right? It made it seem as if Oh, we're going to listen to Semen for Teeth. We're going to listen to him go ahead and defend his buddy that he's been defending for 4 years, right? There was a hinge when I came on again and I asked him how long he'd been grooming children. He said, I'm not going to answer that. Ernie got on his ass, and then William Gloryhole, we're not going to mess around in this chat. Be the professionals everyone says they want to be, right? William Gloryhole says, how do you feel about this content being in any community? And he said, well, this is the internet. I didn't post the video, but I've watched worse. I don't know what's worse than Ukrainian rape videos, because I've heard the word porn being used to describe it. Porn suggested it's 2 consenting adults, right? That was sexual assault materials, right? When it's children, you say CSAM. So this was ASAM. This was adult sexual abuse materials, right? So when confronted with the whole ideology about why you're in a Discord with a kid that's 16, you're mentoring a 16-year-old to already at such a young and tender age to be away from women. Here it is, Semen for Teeth is in Vegas. You heard Dak tell the whole story. I heard it today. Dak comes up and lays it all down about the 16-year-olds, right? He came in a chat, he had a wrench, and he said he bragged about having 2 16-year-olds lined up at a hotel in Vegas, right? Now he's also mentoring a 16-year-old and allowing him to put the wildest material in his Discord. So I would say that like 16 is like Kush Doubtfire's magic number, right? It's the magic number. So thank God, like 3 hours later, Ernie shows the Manlytopia stuff, right? When I'm looking at some things, right? When you're looking at his stream that was sniped from Rumble, he's got Manlytopia in there and saying, Benny Keys is a fucking loser and he's a fucking wash up and this and this. Man, you are a 16-year-old, or we're a 16-year-old with a Russian kink who is turned on by military Ukrainian man rape materials, right? Like these. Now, I've heard a lot of people, like I knew these guys were weirdos a long time ago. I didn't have to snuggle up to them. There was no snuffleupagus for me to see something that, like, you can look on the outside and you can listen to what they say and you're like, them are some fucking weirdos right there. I don't want nothing to do with it. I feel like it was very unbecoming of a lot of people who have been close to these guys. All of a sudden you see them trying to scurry away from all this as fast as they can, right? Like, I found that interesting. Now, I'm not best friends with Incel X. I've heard this dude sits around on panels all over and talks shit about. I don't care about that. But what was interesting is that I felt bad for Incel X. But there was a lot of things that came with that, right? There was Buttholes for Teeth. He's talking about how Incel X was in there and saw these materials. I don't know. I wasn't in there. So it's not for me to say he was or he wasn't in there, but what he did say was that he doesn't just jump. Now, I got confused because Incel said that he doesn't just jump into Discords, and then in the same breath, he turned around and said that he jumped in and was in there for 6 or 7 months out of the 3 years he'd been knowing these guys. So I don't know, like maybe the last 6 months he was in there, he didn't see any of these kind of materials. I'll give him that, right? But I felt bad that the story that I heard one fast Dak tell about Buttholes for Teeth and 16-year-olds, I've heard it. And he told it the same way I've heard it other places by other people. And all of a sudden I start to ask myself, like, what was there to defend? As soon as you hear that this came out of his own mouth via a comment, like you don't need to have that and defend him for that, and then later on down the road, now we want to part ways because is some Russian sex abuse material put on the internet, right? So, in my contention is like, where, I don't want to know, but first of all, I heard a lot of people saying that they were messed up, like it messed their head up to watch this video. Now, I'm not down in it. I don't have any bad opinions about people that watched it, but like, why you watching it? Why did you watch this video? Why are you so connected to who we know is two weirdos on the internet that you would click on any link in his community tab that doesn't have the YouTube search address in it? Man, I ain't clicking on none. Here we are, a whole bunch of people have clicked on this link and been traumatized by something they probably knew wasn't what it was supposed to be. I mean, anyone who looked at it before they clicked on it, they could have said, hey, this here is going to take me somewhere I don't want to go. And it was going to have a search address in there, whether it was this website or whatever the website was. But you could tell by looking at the link, it was going to send you somewhere unsavory. Now, I've spoken about this before. Remember the old Faces of Death videos? Now, I don't know if there is a Faces of Death website, but you could be for damn sure that if material like this was on a website called Faces of Death, in there was going to be the video serial, whatever, the ABV, and then it's going to have the website attached into the link as well. So you already know it's sending, the link identified it, had to have. The link identified it as a place you shouldn't go. And people clicked on it anyways. Shame on you, right? Like, yeah, shock sites. There you go. So it's not like this is just an invisible link that doesn't tell you anything about where you're about to go. It tells you in the link what web address it's sending you to. Right? Every single link ever created or going to be created, it's going to have the website and then the video identifier, whether it's YouTube, www.youtube /SemenForTeeth. You know by looking at the link, you're about to go to SemenForTeeth's page or site or whatever, right? It wasn't a mystery. Anyone that clicked on that link that has any sort of tech knowledge, and there are a bunch of them, any of you that watched that video from that community tab, you knew it was sending you somewhere to a site that's unsavory. I assure you of that. I've never even seen the link. I'm not subscribed to weirdos. That's just two weirdos. I wouldn't be subscribed. Why? For what? The whole internet. I mean, all I had to hear was SemenForTeeth telling Nicolina that he would accept her apology if she were to deliver her virgin child on a silver platter to him. That ain't even some shit that's not even kind of funny. Like, I don't think we need to, you don't have to listen to 4 hours of Ernie Shell to realize that comment right there, way back then, whenever that was, that's enough. Then you hear the whole 16-year-olds in Vegas. Now there's a 16-year-old being groomed in a damn Discord, and he's putting these materials out. And like the whole thing, there wasn't a second. There was not 1 second listening to Ernie Shell and these things in my earbuds today there was not 1 second where I was like, you know what? I shouldn't have went up there so early. I should have let them guys kind of baby and kick him around and let him deflect from the topics and not answer questions. And you know what? Take it for what it's worth. Like William Gloryhole held him to the standard, right? You don't have to love William Gloryhole to be appreciative. Two things can be right. You don't have to like someone to appreciate that they did the right thing. right? You just don't. We're adults here. As soon as you remove yourself from YouTube, we've all been confronted with a situation like, you know what, I don't really like my neighbor, but I sure appreciate that they stopped my dog when I didn't know where it was at and didn't let it run down the road, right? Like, you can appreciate things from people you don't have a relationship with, right? You can appreciate it. I appreciate him holding him to the letter of the law about it, right? So now you got two weird. Now, the interesting part about Buttholes for Teeth, this dude, he legitimately runs around the internet doing two things: defending Kush Doubtfire and then snitching on him at the same time. They're interchangeable, right? Most of what we have heard that has really painted Kush in bad light outside of 16-year-olds in Vegas are things that Bullets, his friend that defends him, I think it's safe to say, Kush Doubtfire, Buttholes for Teeth is not your friend. He acts like he's your friend, but you're the best kind of friend he's capable of making, right? He can't make a better friend than you. And because he knows you're a POS, he runs around defending you, snitching on you, defending you. Like, come on, bro. Right? Like, it doesn't take a lot to figure this out. You hear me? And the other thing is that we know there's weirdo Republicans. We know that there's weirdo Democrats. There's weirdo liberals. There's weirdo conservatives. MGTOW in and of itself is not these gentlemen. They have been, he might start talking about my beard. Yeah, because he can't even, neither one of them dudes can grow a beard, right? Low T. These guys, just because you hear them saying that they're the black pill generals and they're the MGTOW monks, they're not. They've been outcast, right? It's like being exiled somewhere like Cuba, and you still say, that you're an American. Like, of course they're going to attach themselves back to the whole, the organization as a whole, right? Ernie was very clear, kind of. I mean, I got what he was saying, was that there are MGTOW guys, and that Ernie even went on to say that he even agrees with some of the tenets, right? Now, or maybe not the tenets, but the ideology. The tenets are no new marriages, no cohabitating, and no new kids, right? And what's dangerous about that is when you start grooming teenagers. Like, come on, let's be real. A dude like Manlatopia he's a virgin. He's not ever even had a bad experience with a woman, I'm guessing, to where he is accepting of these tenets as a 16-year-old. Are you kidding me? Like, we hate women so much as Buttholes for Teeth and Kush Doubtfire. We hate women so badly that we want to pluck teenagers who maybe are just getting through puberty, and we want to solidify their position as being sexless and relationship free. Is this for real? Like, this is a real only on the internet. Only on the internet, because guys like Bullets and Kush said he been voluntarily celibate for 15 years. Damn. And then I heard Ernie talking about, because I had to cross weave this thing. I hear Ernie start talking about prostitutes and sex dolls and all of the things, and I'm like, you mean to tell me you hate women so much that you went to a sex store and bought a rubber butt or whatever it is you're using? That's what you want? You're like, that's part of the rules? It can't be. It cannot be, right? So I appreciate Ernie letting me come up so early, because I was able to set the precedent with evidence for this mock trial that would have otherwise, those two would have came up there, and because there wasn't this new information about them grooming 16-year-olds, they would have been able to schmooze their way back in. But then once the evidence came directly in the beginning, what's up, William? I appreciate what you did, bro. Like, you kept it real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know you. I've never had an issue with you. I know that there's people from the Blaine Katie sphere and the Mean Girls sphere, and I'm in my own sphere. I don't have an issue with you in terms of anything, right? However, it went on, like, to me, there was a point in the end, and I have it pulled up here. There was a point in the end where William was like, answer the question or get the fuck out of here. And that's really, like, that's the sort of energy that one needed to have super early on. You guys Ernie didn't have to go 3 hours. I understand why he did, because it's the flight path, right? But you don't have to coddle these pedos for 3 hours and go back and forth with them. Like, that's my style, right? My style. Ernie's style is different, right? And that's okay. Two things can be right at the same time. I can appreciate the destination. And the destination was that with the information of the 16-year-old, hit out of his own mouth, the 16-year-old information in the very beginning is what set the tone for it all, right? Set the tone for it all. And that I don't know, like, I like to troll like anybody else, but there's like nothing that those two looking outwardly, looking into their sphere, there's nothing those two can do that's regular and ordinary. It's all driven by their sexless behavior and hatred towards women. It's because they cannot control a woman. They hate them all. Or some of the tenets is that, oh, well, I got involved with the wrong woman and I ended up in court, or I ended up in legal trouble, or she snatched the kids. Man, such is life, homie. Guess what you do? You pony up, you ante up to the table, and you try again, right? You don't live a life fueled by hatred for someone in the past, right? I don't hate any of my exes. No, I don't carry that around. That's baggage I'm not going to carry. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and stub my toe on purpose looking for a reason to hate a woman that I feel got over on me. No, just in the most southern way possible, bless your heart and move forward, bro. You move on. There is more than just one person for everybody. That's just, especially in some locales like Texas. I think I heard one time in Texas, it's like 3 or 4 women to every man. And if you get hung up on, like, what's the old saying? There's a million fish in the sea. Man, there's actually trillions of fish in one sea, right? And you just keep shoveling and etching and climbing your way through life. And the whole idea is that you find someone you can share in sickness and in health, right? Tiger Tail, no, I understand. You're welcome to your opinion. But the problem is that Kush and Bullets, right? They snuggled up to people in this community after they've been booted from other they've been booted for weirdo behavior in other communities. They come over here and they're capable of leaving just enough of that bullshit they did over there, and they slide through the metal detector looking pretty clean. I mean, they're weirdos. They look like weirdos, but they can come sort of unattached with all of their bullshit. Then they get over here and they cannot, like, as soon as they boil, they turn over. You can't put Kush on the spot or Bullets on the spot, because as soon as you do, they're going to tell on themselves. Fast and Feisty, Ernie, I think that a portion of what Ernie was trying to do, and please in the chat, let's not go ad hominem. I'm not saying anyone is, right? Because a lot of times in Ernie's chat, when my name is brought up, is ad hominem stuff, right? It's not about the stance that I keep. It's about something other trying to diminish my stance based on my beard or me living with elderly parents that both have cancer in a huge house that I'm remodeling. Like, it can't be any of those things, right? It's always those things, right? So, moving forward, I get why Ernie did that. I think that Ernie, he kept it going so long trying to get, like, you know, you give a dog a leash, it's gonna run, right? Weirdos like this, they've been talking on the internet to 12 people for years. So they just like to hear themselves talk. And if you ask the question and then step back, well, damn, they're gonna keep on talking. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. And that's what he did, right? There were periods where I was listening to Ernie's stream and I'm like, man, he's getting ready to let them back in. And then there was, you know, then he would turn it around, or there would be voices of reason like William, or, you know, incel, right? Like I got to actually see, and this is no shade, right? Like, with the name incel, you're already off the center about, like, I would never, you know, like if I'm active with my girl, like, I'm not an incel, right? So to take on that name, it already sets a standard that you know, it's a reputation that precedes you, right? To hear him voice his displeasure and really come off as an alpha guy, like, man, shouts out to incel, right? Like, you know, it's a beautiful thing. But here, I want you to listen to this real quick.
What an idiot, man.
What made no sense was he was over there in his live and he said, incel knows all about this. He knows the fuckery that we do. He knows the shit that we watch. He's been in our Discord I was like, what?
No, bro. The only time we communicated was through email, because I'm not an idiot. I'm just not going to jump into a Discord, not know what's going on. And the only reason why I jumped on the Discord...
There. He said he doesn't just jump into Discords, but then followed it right up by saying he jumped into Discord. So I'm confused. Do I believe him that he didn't see any of these materials? I am. Because buttholes for teeth, his testimony means nothing. He's a liar, right? He's a liar. No, Hazy, I believe him. You can have your opinion. I believe that incel didn't see any of these materials. Now, I've said before, I've leveraged the situation before by saying these guys were all in there together. Why the outrage for something now when Bullets is saying these things have been in here for quite some time? Kush is pinned down to the ground about it, and he won't even come out and say, no one else has seen any of these things. So it's just standing to reason. It stands to reason that certain individuals in there saw things, right? So hear that one more time.
Communicated was through email, because I'm not an idiot. I'm just not going to jump into a Discord, not know what's going on. And the only reason why I jumped on the Discord...
So he doesn't just jump into Discords, but then he says he jumped into the Discord. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm not here to judge any of those people, except for Kush Doubtfire and Buttholes for Teeth, right? I mean, he's alluded to the fact that people have his docs, and his docs comes back to a married man with kids. Like, I mean, I can't even make a metaphor that's going to make that make any more sense, right? It's like, I don't get it. It's probably almost strangely adjacent to wearing blackface as a white person. It's like, no, you're not black, and that right there is like super offensive to certain people. Like, how are you here saying you hate women and you're going your own way, but you're married, homie, and you got kids, homie? Like, make that make sense, right? It's I don't know. What I will say as a safeguard is this. I certainly hope that this is the end of the situation. Now, I heard Ernie say that here we have no governing power, that there is no one person that governs the whole thing. Most communities could never, this community anyways, that we're talking about now, this community could never agree that one person could be sort of the sheriff of it all. Other communities, they do, right? Like Marty was the sheriff over here, and now William Gloryhold is sort of the new appointed sheriff. There's a lot of communities that do have a sheriff in town. This one, there's too many egos, right? There's too many egos. No one person could be the sheriff here, right? That is a truism. But what we can do moving forward, oh, I'm sorry, Deborah. Ah, damn. Prayers for Deborah. What we can do moving forward is refuse to have these people on live streams, to refuse to allow them to comment anywhere, and that the terminology that I hate almost more than anything on the internet, I hate it more than behind the scenes, is ice them out. I hate that terminology. But to ignore them to the most extreme degree. Also understanding that moving forward, if you associate with these two, because there's so many people in this community that will hold me to a letter of the law because Nicolina said something, or someone's going to hold Ernie to the letter of the law because Kevin said something. We are all individual adults, right? Like what I eat doesn't make Nicolina shit, right? It doesn't. But that because of this strange oddity of the internet guilt by association, moving forward, you got to keep that energy. And that if anyone is seen commingling with these two buttholes, that immediately you must be doing what they're doing, right? Has to be that way. That's the only way either of these factions or these sides, right, can be held to any level of accountability, right? You have to, like, I don't have to block either one of them, because neither one of those losers, betas, would even come around me. Like, I go up there, they run away. We saw that, right? I'm there telling the business. They won't come back and say, no, he's lying. I come up there, I said, man, how old was he? Pew, ran off. And then in the weird internet nerd world, you can say, oh, I had a connectivity issue all of a sudden. No, you got hit with the evidence you thought nobody saw, because while that stream was being sniped, you said, nobody's sniping this, and that nobody's going to pay attention. It's going to be deleted afterwards. So you're talking about a 16-year-old in Kush's Discord. Hey, Mags. Meanwhile, you make a statement like, well, that's why I left the school door open for you. If that doesn't sound weird, I don't know what does. Here you are leaving school doors open for young kids. You are trying to superimpose your lack of success with women on. Right? And that to some degree, it must be working. You must have skewed this boy, because I saw his comments like he has nothing to say to defend himself, only ad hominem attacks against me in his chat, or in Bullet's chat, right? This dude has a Russian kink. He loves Mother Russia so much that he has a kink for it. He finds excitement out of watching and sharing this adult sexual abuse material of soldiers. Right? So you've already fucked the boy's head up. Because I would hate to think that he's searching out for involuntarily celibate men at 16 and already have an inkling to share rape videos, bro. Like, if that's the case, that boy doesn't need a loser mentor like fucking Buttholes for Teeth or Kush Doubtfire. That fool needs a padded room and a hug jacket is what he needs, right? That's what he needs. He doesn't need some loser that's not had sex longer than that boy's been alive, right? So, again, do I agree? Like, I don't even know enough about MGTOW to say I agree or disagree. And I'm certainly not going to lean towards the side of disagreement because of some fringe weirdos, right? It's just an issue that doesn't concern me. MGTOW doesn't run my life. It does not. When I lay in the bed with my old lady, I'm not thinking about no MGTOW. When I'm playing with my son, I'm not thinking about no MGTOW. I'm not in the world seeing other people in what looks like outwardly displayed loving relationships and hate them for it. Because I'm assuming that those MGTOW, those weirdos that used to be MGTOW, they go to the mall and it actually physically probably causes them some pain to see men and women being affectionate, holding their children, holding hands, you know, giving him a bite of their middle of the mall Chinese food, you know, like traditional romantic stuff. It must physically cause them pain. And guess what? I hate that for them. I truly hate that for him. But you, with your hate and your weird shit, what you've done is you've positioned yourself in a place with people who have groomed 16-year-olds, lined 16-year-olds up in Vegas, right? And another guy that has watched worse videos than man rape. I can't imagine how fucked, I mean, we see the results. When you listen to Buttholes for Teeth talk, you can tell that is the gibberish of a man that's watched worse videos than Ukrainian military man rape. That is a fucked up individual. And sorry for my language. I'm just like, I listen to it and it just is like, it probably would have behooved me to not listen to it. Right? It probably would have. It probably would have behooved me to not listen to any of the clips or look at any of the screenshots of comments or any of that stuff, right? And it isn't shame on Benny because Benny came there and brought the thing. Like if I would not have went there and put the clip that I was given in the back chat, who knows what would have happened? Those two would have got a mock trial due process as soon as that video was talked about, because Ernie knows just me describing what was on the video, he knew I wasn't lying to him. What do I have to lie to Ernie Show for? What do I have to lie to anybody here for? If I have to lie, I'm not going to be here talking. Right? Like, it doesn't make my boat float to come here and lie. Thank you, Miss Deborah. And again, I'm sorry for your loss, sweetie. I'm really sorry. They wanted to be in this community. It's best to beware of them, in my opinion, but to each their own. Why would they want to come to a community that is 99% women? When I look at my analytics, it's 1 or 2% men. In that community, it's the exact opposite. It's 99% men. Right? Why would they want to completely switch what they reference as a cohesive group? Why would they switch it all the way up to come over here and nag with some women? You see, I don't come out here. I'm getting ready to nag with a woman though tomorrow night, hopefully, if not the next night. I'm not here nagging with no women when the women are going, when the hens when the hens are clucking. I'm not in that. You don't see me in no chats and my name don't pop up. Like, women do women stuff. When it's something I feel like has a masculine energy to it, then I might be in somewhere having a comment. But these dudes got completely decimated in an all male community, so they want to slide in over here. It makes me know, never mind who brought them here. I don't care who brought them here. It's that they were here. And if any of the people that brought them here are the people that spoke out about them last night, good for you. Straight up. Good for you. Good for you for having boundaries, right? Because boundaries is one of those things on the internet that a lot of us are forced to bend, right? Well, this or this, or this person said that, but because I'm friends with them, I know the internet is going to force me to put everything on the one thing they did or the 10 things they did, right? Like, I don't co-sign nobody's bullshit, right? And because I'm around this, that, or the other person, that doesn't mean I'm actively co-signing it. If you have that belief, you need to have your head checked. I can go around whoever I want to. I'm a grown-ass man. And if you want to gang up and have panels and talk shit about me when I'm not listening or I don't care, man, all for you. Good, fine, do it. I don't care about none of that. I never have on the internet. Back on the other channel or this channel or any other subsequent channel, I won't care about what somebody thinks about me because of someone that I am not an enemy with on the internet. Oh, you need to denounce them or else everything they've ever done, you also did it and you're okay with it. If that's how hey, what's up, AC? Good to see you, buddy. If that's what you want to believe, that's the tedious life. That's a tedious life to run around here every single day, spending all of your God-given time that you won't get back, trying to associate someone's character based on something someone else did that they're not enemies with. So what, do I have to come on here and say, fuck Nicolina, in order to be accepted by people that talk shit about me anyways? Like, no, I don't have to do that. I don't. So that's my take on it, right? Like, it's not designed, most of the alliances and issues and things on the internet, they're not designed for you to understand them. There is really the real estate of understanding is so small, and usually it's non-existent. You're not going to come here and make sense out of any of this shit, right? And so anyone that's forced to feel like they got to be one way or the other, guess what? I do this solo. I would be doing this even if one person cared about my opinion about some shit, right? If I wake up tomorrow and none of the people that I'm not enemies with don't want to be around me no more, okay. Right? I'm not going to squirrel off to another community, right? I'm going to stay right here doing what I do. Anyways, I debated on what, and I started to take some notes, and I was like, this is just all way too much pre-planning for two weirdos that are involved in ungodly things. Like, we see what they are involved in. Can you imagine what we can't see they're involved in? Yeah, Rumor, I'm going to just do what I'm going to do, right? Like, there was a time where me and Nicolina sharpening swords on each other, and that also Ernie was over there with them, and it was just me by myself, right? Like, I don't have to ask no permission from nobody to say, hey, Ernie, man, I don't want to go back and forth with you. I don't have to pre-check with nobody else before I do so. I can do what I want. I'm a grown-ass man, dog. I can do what I want. You hear me? So the people that will question that are the people that stay in relationships on the internet that they know if they leave, it's going to go sour. You'll never have me involved in no relationship online that I can't speak out about because I'm worried what little tiny circles that say lurking horror with truth, no offense, just for instance, right? I don't know who you are. I don't know where you live. I don't know what your favorite ice cream flavor, like, we're here, right? I can support the idea that you're supportive of me, or I love the idea that if I'm talking about a topic, you're here with an educated commentary with me, right? If Pendar, hey, Miss Pendar, if Miss Pendar decides tomorrow she don't align with something I got going on, I truly wish you the best. Miss Pendar is a little bit different though, because I know her in real life, right? So if me and Miss Pendar had an issue, we just get on the horn and talk to each other, right? But for the people that I don't know, right? Like, I don't know who Fast and Feisty is. If Fast and Feisty said tomorrow, hey Benny, you know what? I can't jive with it. I gotta go. I say, okay, I wish you the best. And I'm not gonna sit around here and I'm not gonna talk shit. I'm not gonna talk shit to Fast and Feisty about leaving. Right? Like, what the hell does that look like? I don't know why this iPad, it made me turn it. Anyways, that's just, you know, I think in order, and this is kind of in closing, I think in order to question the tenets of other communities, no matter what they are, right? I mean, there's unspoken tenets with Ernie, there's unspoken tenets with Nicolina and them. I don't know what their tenets are, but in order to question the tenets or the belief system of someone, you have to have one. You have to have a belief system for someone else's belief system to encroach upon. God would miss you too, Lila. Hell you mean. Right? I mean, it's, for instance, Honest Rain. She was a moderator here. She's a member. I see her full-time with Ernie. Her job over there is to share the Cash App and the PayPal. I'm not mad at her. I haven't emailed her and said, you know what, I see you over there and you left from over me. I don't own you people. You can go where you want. Hey, Earth Angel. I'm not upset that anybody moves anywhere. I don't control people. You know what I'm saying? So I think that more than anything, we have to beware, right? Like, those two, their egos are so large. I had somebody one time that I found out was an offender. And he came with, no thanks, Doug. And once I found out he was an offender, I exposed him. And I shooed him away. He emailed me, the last email he emailed me, he said, you know what? I'm still gonna be in your community. You just won't know who I am. Those are the kind of people you gotta look out for. Because yeah, you don't know. Just all they got to do is create a new silly avatar with a new silly name. He can slide right in with the rest of them. You remember that, Bleak? Yeah. Those two, they'll never change their name to slide in here and be vindictive and just stay part of a community that doesn't want them, right? They'll always be buttholes for teeth and Kush Doubtfire. Always. They want you to know it's them, right? So, anyways, that's just my take on it, right? And it's, for what it's worth, maybe nobody gives a shit about my opinion of this situation, right? And I had thought about what I might say after I was like, nah, I'm not writing down no notes. These weirdos can get off the top commentary. I realized that throughout the course of it, I would have to give flowers to Ernie. I would have to give flowers to William Glory Hole. I would have to give flowers to Incel X, you know, so on and so forth, right? Like, I don't have any animosity towards any of these people, right? Like, off the internet, I don't know what your cologne smells like or your perfume smells like. So, like, why do I want to waste time in my busy life hating or arguing with people on the internet? I don't even know. Tomorrow's going to be different. Yeah, we are such, when I say we, I mean a lot of people on the internet, we are such tough motherfuckers until somebody on the internet says something we don't like. And then we roll over and piss on ourselves, you know, like wild, like tame lapdogs, right? Like, for instance, on my community tab right now, right? I'll just give you a short synopsis and then I'm gonna get out of here. Brooks called me today, and on the phone with her, she had a lady named Miss Rebecca. Miss Rebecca is the grandmother to Corey Michelot. if you're not up to speed with who Corey Mikolo is, his father, Corey's father, he was 5. Corey's father is serving a 25-year sentence for aggravated manslaughter and child endangerment, right? I don't want to get into all the stuff here, but I spoke with her at length today, his grandmother, and there is a lady from another community. And you know what, William, if you're still here, it might be one that you would, might be one you might take interest in, because it is someone who is victim shaming a little kid that's no longer with us, one that is victim shaming the grandmother, one that is victim shaming the mother of this child. And when you victim shame victims, it automatically puts you on the side of supporting a child killer. Her name is Toddy One Skip. She's a real wild card, right? So tomorrow, I understand Evil Ghost has been going back and forth with this Toddy lady as I'm gathering, and he's planning on doing a stream tomorrow going over one of her recent terrible garbage videos, right? Yeah, Flies. I'm not an advocate. Like I said in my video, my last little video, I'm an activist. I understand the difference between. And I told her, I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am not an advocate. If you're looking for an advocate, let's help find you an advocate that you... No, she was okay with me being an activist, right? And so essentially, I don't want to give away the game plan, but it's going to go one of two ways. And hopefully for this Toddy lady, this ain't no threat. I'm just telling you legally, it's going to go one of two ways. Either you can just sort of stop it, or else it probably, the landscape will change for you, right? So Evil Ghost has a live stream tomorrow going to cover her behavior. And when I talked to Rebecca, she sort of leaned towards wanting to do a live stream tomorrow. I don't want to conflict with what he already had going on, right? Ghost isn't my best friend, but if you're right, you're right. You see what I'm saying? So I know, Flossie, I know. So I don't want to conflict with what Ghost has going on. If his stream is a go, I'm sure that he would be very understanding that if Rebecca only had tomorrow night to do a live stream with me, I know he would be understanding of that, because I'm sure that, to get the word out is more important than getting the views. I don't care about the views. I just want to get it out there. So anyways, that's my take. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't even have to be indifferent about it. But these two guys, again, I applaud Ernie for, I don't have to like the flight plan. I just gotta agree with the destination. With the place we land, I just gotta agree with you, right? So I agree with where it landed. And I think that I just started to listen to a little bit of what they had going on and this afternoon, and I think that it sort of got off track with the whole Ash, Katie, Nicolina thing. I think it got a little off track, but that's what happens sometimes on long streams. But I would look forward to Ernie, because he had some really good information about the I'm saying that wrong. TGTOW. He had an issue saying it too. TGTOW and some of the other things. Like, I would like to hear more about the fringe dirty players. There was some useful information in there. So thank you, Bleak. Thank you. So yeah, and kind of keep a continuity to what's going on, right? Like, we're gonna talk about MGTOW, and try to keep it on that, because his last stream. I listened to all of it up until it got on to the stuff with the bickering with the girls, and I'm like, yep, nope, this is where I quit. I'm not here to listen to no girls bicker. I want to listen to the research you've done on particular aspects of MGTOW and the people on the fringe. Anyways, I love all of y'all individually. That's okay, Flossie. I mean, that's where I would go, right? I mean, that's where I would go. And I had actually, had said to Dak one time that, hey man, if you want to stream with me and kind of, you know, get my side hip to what it is you guys got going on. He's like, yeah, I'm just chilling. And I can appreciate the fact that he sort of came out of retirement for a bit to go on Ernie's, right? I thought it was useful and it was timely. It was in there where it needed to be. It was hard hitting about Kush Doubtfire and the 16-year-olds, and you know, it was on time. So anyways, you should have a Barbie Royal Rumble. Have all 3 Barbie. J-Dub, hey, stranger shit is happening. Anyways, I love all of y'all individually. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Y'all have a great night. God bless.